Yo, Monday and Tuesday is a blur. I don't remember. I think I started a beat yesterday, which ended up turning to a Christmas beat today, and then Monday was just like a bunch of random all over the place stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. Let me know what you guys are up to. Let me know what questions you have. We're talking about music licensing, music business, and production. Shout out to Mr. Watt. We got Mr. Watt. What's going on, man? How's everything going? Good to see you back in the stream. Yeah. Shout out to Ecamm. I think hopefully Ecamm got their stuff together. Ecamm is what I use to stream live on YouTube, but they came out with an update and it was just jacking everybody up. Like, I was talking to a buddy of mine. It was messing with him. He couldn't record. And then apparently like other people was just having issues. And then last time, when was that? Sunday. I went live Sunday and the joint dropped like 5 times in the middle of the stream. So I don't know what they're doing over at Ecamm. But apparently they rolled out another update. So it's supposed to be a little better now. So we'll see. What's up, Deverick Bell? Good to see you. Thanks for coming through. Shout out to everybody that's just joining. Let me know where you guys are from and let me know what you do. And then we can see how I can help y'all. But yeah, so yeah, my plan this week really is to knock out as much Christmas music as I can for like the next couple weeks. If you're in licensing and trying to get like TV placements, Christmas music is something that I feel like everybody should have in their catalog because it comes back around every year like clockwork, right? So it has an opportunity every year to get used, and it really doesn't like get old. Like, you know, apparently you can, well, obviously you can kind of create stuff that's trendy and things like that, but it's something that lives like forever for a long time. So really building that Christmas catalog up over the next couple weeks, sending some stuff out. But yeah, man, like I advise everybody, like get those those public domain covers, the originals, all of that stuff. Sean Lewis, what's up? Writing for placement, the simple steps. So the simple steps for writing for TV and film placements is gonna be the ambiguity in the lyrics. So like lyrics that apply to a lot of different things. You know, not super specific names, specific dates and cities. You want to keep it real open. you want to talk about subjects that are popular. I always see briefs that have to do with empowerment, winning, conquering, taking over, love, happiness, great day, party, like all those kind of subjects that can apply to a lot of different situations. I see a lot of, obviously you have room for like the heartbreak topics or just different things, but those, like a lot of the positive messages and topics do well. The fun, upbeat, light-hearted sounding stuff, those tend to do pretty good as well. So yeah, it's pretty much about just building. Your first step is building a catalog of at least 5 solid songs that fit those guidelines. Create a streaming playlist that can be streamable and or downloaded. Box.com is a free resource. You can upload tracks. They can stream it from that link, or they can download it. Disco.ac is a service that I use. I think it's super dope. Gives them the flexibility to stream it, or you have some solid songs together. The next step is going to be finding companies that match with what you do. So that requires research. It requires, hopping on Google, hopping on IMDb, watching some shows, all of that stuff. It goes into research and finding those reputable companies that pitch and represent full songs and things like that. So those are like the simple steps. And then once you get past that, it's just a matter of them accepting. And it's just a matter of just repeating that process until somebody says yes, pretty much. And then just not stopping until then. Mr. Watts says it looks and sound good. Okay, dope. Shout out to Ecamm. I think they worked the kinks out. We gonna see. Immaculate Beats, what's up, bro? Good to see you again. ATL singer-songwriter for work TV installation. Nice. That's what's up. I think I lost you. It's possible because my email app randomly opened up and I think it started skipping in. Super random, but that's what I'm talking about. Like Ecamm has just been on some weird glitchiness stuff. And I know my computer, like I've never had any issues, so I don't know. Technology. Looking for production teams. Where do I start or find these teams? That's a good question. Where do producers hang out? Instagram, social media. You can try and get into like some music production forums, like on Facebook, or like the groups, pages and groups, where a lot of producers hang out. That could be an option. Just I guess kind of getting in the head of a producer. Like, we hang out, and I know on social media a lot. You can use hashtags to search, production team or production teams. You just use different hashtags to search the terms that you're looking for. Producer, Atlanta producers, whatever. Just kind of use those to search whatever you're looking for. And then, just kind of go from there. The Herbie Brown, what's good, bro? Good to see you again. We got Betsy B back in the building. Always looking forward to catching your streams. Good stuff. Thank you, Betsy. I appreciate you coming through. Anderson Banks, what's up? I'm going over your urban mixing course. Dope, man. Hopefully it's helping. Man. That course was fun. It was fun to make. I have on my schedule to start getting into what I use for vocals as well. So you guys stay tuned for that. But yeah, man, like that, the mixing course, like I said, like I try and keep it as simple as possible because mixing is already complicated as is. But through the years, like I really, really simplified my process, and I was just like, yo, I'm using way too many plugins to get the sound that I want. So I found a way to just shave off all the extra stuff and just stick to the basics and get nice, clean mixes. So that's why I created Urban Mixing Made Simple, to show you guys how I do that. Yes, Betsy, we can't forget about the vocals, right? Vocals is where it's at. What's up, Tiny? Good to see you again. Welcome to the stream. J Music. What's up, Clint? Mr. Lewis, what are you looking for? And a producer, what are their needs? There we go. Networking happening right here in the chat. Producers hang out here. It's a perfect place to find producers and stuff. So dope stuff. Devrick is back. I compose and play sax, just sitting in to see what I need. Thanks for inviting me. No doubt. Nice. Compose and play sax. That's dope, man. You could probably find a nice little lane in licensing, just composing, like doing well, I don't know like what genre or whatever, but when I hear sax, I automatically think of jazz, soul, neo soul stuff. But depending on what you do, you know what I mean? Like you can put some instrumental albums together and be like that go-to instrumental sax guy for some of these music licensing companies, and even just release those joints on the streaming platforms, get on playlists and stuff like that. So that could be dope. Upload your music on like pond5.com, different sites where people will come and kind of pay for like a micro license to license, you know, an instrumental piece of music for their indie video or corporate video, whatever. That can be some extra side income as well. So dope stuff, Devrick. Appreciate you coming through. Ola, vocals sounding good is always going to attract more fans. That's a fact, yo. Like one of my pet peeves is hearing a solid song, right? Lyrically, and vocally, and then like the mix just sounding bad. You know what I mean? Like just it's not clean. I can't hear the lead vocal clear. The background, the stacks aren't together and sounding in unison. I'm a super stickler about stacks just like being on point. Background vocals, harmonies, all that stuff has to sound on point, because it can take a toll on the record at the end of the day. Like it won't sound as good, and then you miss out on opportunities. So yeah, sax for trap soul, that would be dope actually. New jazz and neo soul. Oh man, yeah, that's perfect. Like, man, I would. This is what I would do. Like, and I mean, I've done it. Like last year, I released like an instrumental every week. And the goal is to have like 52 instrumentals just streaming by the end of the year. So I would create instrumentals, man, and just start dropping those joints on all the streaming platforms, on YouTube, and just let them start accumulating, streaming royalties, which aren't a lot, obviously, but it adds up over time, and it can help with exposure. And then also put those same tracks on like non-exclusive micro sync websites where people can come and license them. Because people, if you put your stuff on YouTube, man, and use really good keywords, people will stream that stuff all day. Like they'll put it on a playlist and just keep replaying it over and over, because it's instrumental, right? I do work to instrumental music all the time. So you can get depending on where your YouTube channel is, obviously you have to get it up to a point to where you can start generating ad revenue. But yeah, like there's opportunities, for it to at least start generating some stuff for you, and put it to work. Ola or Ole, Does your mixing course also include how to do mastering? So I don't really dig deep into the mastering. I show you what's on my mastering chain though, and kind of break that down, and it's super simple. But I don't consider myself like a mastering engineer, because I really don't go that deep into it. Like for what I do, I just need a solid master on the track. I need my volume to be up. I need a compressor to kind of glue everything together, and I need a tape machine to glue it and kind of warm the entire mix, and just making sure I'm not clipping. That's all I need. Like I don't need somebody to sit and like spend 2 days like mastering a track. Like I'm trying to get this stuff out for TV. Turnaround times are quick. So yeah, it's a very, very simple mastering chain that I use, and I save it as a preset, and then every time I create something, it's already there, right? All I have to do is like in Logic, you just push the power button to activate it. Otherwise, you may get a little bit of latency if you try and create with those plugins enabled. But yeah, like I got three joints, 3 plugins on that joint. So yeah, but I definitely show you what I use. Is it wise to put instrumentals for TV and film placement on your website? So wise to put, yeah, I mean you can if you want. I don't know. Are you trying to like sell them on your website or just put them on there to just showcase? But yeah, you can. I mean, it's yours, right? You own those instrumentals. You can put them on your own website. The only time it's really an issue is like if those instrumentals are signed to like an exclusive licensing deal, and then you try and like put them on another website, like maybe try and put it on like a non-exclusive website or something like that. Then that becomes an issue, because technically you're kind of giving somebody else the right to license it. But if it's your own website and you're just putting it there just for people to casually listen to, check out, show your catalog, what you've done, absolutely, that's not an issue. What's up, Tay D? Welcome back. Good to see you, man. Songwriters in the building. It seems as though some of the younger generation are starting to get into instrumentals. Yeah, absolutely. Especially with like the whole lo-fi stuff. A lot of instrumental stuff out there. Indeed. The Herbie Brown, do you copyright the music you put up on YouTube? The stuff I have on, and I haven't really uploaded any tracks on YouTube. But those stuff, like the tracks that I do have on YouTube are like the tracks I have on my beat store. So I have traffic. I have those videos there, and they're driving traffic to the beat store. So yeah, like those, no, I don't. Nah, I don't go through the process of registering the copyright. Yeah, it's too much. Like it's so much music that I do. I don't bother. Now if I'm creating like a full song with the artist, maybe a different situation, depending on where that track is going. And what the situation is, if it's a major label situation, something where I know it's gonna be going through like a lot of hands, then that's when I'm a little bit more concerned about that. But nah. Good question though. If the mix is good, the master is easy. That's a fact, man. Like everything starts with the mix, right? If your mix is terrible, your master's gonna be terrible. So yeah, everything definitely starts with the mix, and having to sound clean at the end of the day. Definitely agree. What's up, Samantha? Welcome back. Does a big sting usually need to end in all songs submitted for licensing? Technically, no. But if you can put it in there, I would recommend it. I mean, it doesn't have to be super huge and theatrical, right? Just let it be like a definite ending. If you can. Fade outs are just really, really discouraged. Like, just don't, like, if at all possible, just don't let it fade out. Of course, I'm sure there's been songs that's been placed where they faded out and they just didn't use that part. They only used the hook. A lot of times when you're hearing stuff, you only hear the hook. But when you're submitting stuff, like they're gonna look for how it ends, because it helps them transition. So I would say, to give yourself the best chance, try and have a sting ending on it. that would be my advice. West. What's up, E-Rock Young? No problem, Herbie. Shout out to everybody coming in, man. Let me know where y'all from, what y'all do. I'm just on here chilling with y'all, answering some questions. Y'all know how we do every Wednesday. Tracy Brown is back. What's up, man? Where do you get your inspiration for new songs, new ideas? Man, I don't know, man. Like, now I'm just at the point where I get a brief, I sit down, I start working. I don't even think about it. Like, I used to kind of be, I don't know. I used to kind of be like, I produce when I'm inspired. But now it's like, when I sit down, I'm just like, yo, like I have to create something. And I don't know, man. I just sit down and do it and just get to work, and try not to think about it too much. Like, I got to get it done. Like, I'm not going to sit and like pass up on an opportunity. Like, if I get a brief, I'm not going to pass up on the opportunity because I don't feel inspired. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, okay, they want this. So I'm going to listen to the references, do a little bit of research, and then I'm going to just start creating. And that's kind of how I approach it now, where now I just create on demand. Like, if I need to create, I'm about to just sit down and create. So that's how I work now. That's a good question. Mr. Watt, is there any music that you make that you don't pitch? No. I'm intentional with everything. I hate wasting time. So if I'm sitting down and I'm making something, that joint is going somewhere. Like, it's going to go to the beat store. It's going to go to a publisher. It's going to go to a writer, artist, something. Like, it's going somewhere. I don't like stuff sitting on my hard drive because it don't make me money. Like, it doesn't make sense, to make something and then just let it sit there. Now, I do have, like, occasionally, say if I start an idea and then I don't finish it, I'll go back to it. I keep it in my folder, but then I'll go back to it. And then if I feel like finishing, I'll finish it. If I'm like, this is kind of weak, I'll take the loops or whatever, turn it into a loop pack. And then I put it in that loop pack, upload that, and then provide that, for producers who need some loops or whatever. So that's how I approach it. But I try and use everything. I don't like to waste stuff. I've been focusing on 1 minute to 2 minute short compositions. That's perfect. That's perfect. J Music, before submitting music to Music Supervisor and uploading to my site, in your opinion, how large should my catalog be? I just posted a video on that, actually, just how to prepare your catalog for TV placements. Doesn't have to be large, man, like 5 to 10 tracks. It doesn't have to be crazy. I go more in depth in that video, but yeah, it doesn't have to be a crazy number. Something where they can hear your work, you know what I'm saying? They can hear what you do. This is a fact. Even when submitting beats, having the sting at the end lets them know you mean business. Like, yeah, like that. It's like an intentional thing to put on your track, and like when they hear it, they're like, okay, like they're like intentional about getting their music on TV. It's definitely a good look. Tay D, it's a good closing the songs, absolutely. Cali, that's what's up. We got Cali in the building. Exandre, I'm from Brooklyn. Recently discovered you. Do you teach music licensing only for producers or artists too? I focus on producers specifically because I'm a producer as well. So I focus on producers and like the instrumentals. Some of these principles apply. Well, a lot of the principles apply to artists as well. But my focus when mentoring and things like that is usually on producers. And and instrumental music. But the process looks the same. The major difference is really in finding companies who represent full songs versus companies who just represent instrumental music, instrumental cues. That's one of the big differences. Appreciate you coming through, man. Hypnosis Beats, what's up, bro? I'm chilling. Anderson Banks, is it okay for the stinger to have an extended reverb? My stinger plays, but the reverb lingers after the beat. So that's a really good question. So depending on how long it is, right? It can't be like 20 seconds because they gonna send it back like, yo, this joint was ringing for like 20 seconds. Can you cut it down? But have it at least long enough to where it finishes the ring. You don't want to cut that ring off, that reverb off, because then that doesn't sound clean. So if it's like a few seconds, you know what I mean? Like just let it finish. You just don't want that joint ringing for like a long time. And then a lot of times I've seen tracks come back. Like if I had a delay, like an echo or whatever at the end, they would have me cut that out as well. So that's something to keep in mind. Some people don't like the delay to keep repeating at the end. So I don't know if that's a preference thing or what, but I've had tracks come back to me, and I had to make that correction before a few times. So now I just to avoid the whole thing, I'll just take, if I have like echo or delay in one of my sounds, I'll just make sure I automate that out. By the time that sting ending hits, you don't hear it anymore. And just make sure everything is ringing out clean. That's a really good question though, because it can be an issue. Shout out to Dean Reynolds Media. What's up, bro, man? Good to see you. Derek Bell says, I'm currently in Texas for last 10 years, relocating back to Orlando, Florida next month, pursuing some more performance gigs as well as production team there. That's what's up, man. Dean Reynolds says, which software are you using to live stream? I'm using Ecamm, man. Ecamm is dope. I like Ecamm up until about a couple days ago when it was glitching on me. But I think they fixed it though. They just rolled out another update. So yeah, man. Ecamm is legit. Do you have any advice on converting a song for placement? Give me some details. Are you like, what are you trying to convert? Like lyrics, like a full song or an instrumental? How long is it? Does it have a bridge? Things like that. Give me some details and I'll see if I can give you some advice. Excuse me. Shout out to Tiny. Got 5 tracks accepted in the library using your course, brother. Thank you. Yo, that's fire, man. Congratulations. I'm glad. I love getting that kind of news from people who have taken my course, my Road to 10 Placements course. That's dope. That's exciting because like that's the beginning, right? Like once it starts, it literally doesn't stop. Like it starts with getting accepted in the library. Then the next step is that library placing those tracks. Then a lot of times what happens is once a network or a show starts to use a track from a library, a lot of times you'll see throughout the season they'll go back and keep pulling like the same tracks for different episodes. Sports networks do it a lot. Like they would play a track out like through highlights and stuff like that. So like that's the beginning, man. And literally as long as you keep submitting, as long as you keep creating music, it just starts to build and grow from there. And then, you know, it has the ability to snowball over time as long as you stay consistent. But yeah, like that's the start. That's the beginning, man. Congrats, Tiny. That's some dope stuff. That's super dope. I'm gonna take a screenshot of that and I'm gonna share it on my IG. Cause people are inspired by that. You know what I'm saying? Like to see others getting accepted to libraries, getting placements. It inspires the whole community to keep going and keep pushing to get those. And just chopping it up, man, about music stuff. How do you get your music video on BET Jam? That's a good question. That's out of my area of expertise, though. If anybody in here knows, feel free to share that info with E-Rock. But yeah, I have no idea. Have you checked like their website, see if they have like some type of submission something? You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes they'll have like a submission email or a submission portal for stuff like that. It may be worth checking into. Snicker.com, what's good? What happens if you license a beat non-exclusively to someone, but then later someone else wants an exclusive license? So, this is why I keep my beat store separate from music licensing, because it can create a lot of confusion. And it'll stop the whole collection process. It'll stop royalty payment process. It'll stop the licensing process because of confusion of ownership, right? So I keep that separate because I don't want those headaches. And I don't want it to mess up licensing relationships either. So best case scenario, paperwork is in order. You know, you do the exclusive joint, and then you license the exclusive master for TV and film. Best case, the other people who have non-exclusive may not notice or say anything. Worst case, you create a headache for everybody. Because the artist could come back, yo, that's my instrumental. It was used on Love and Hip Hop. I heard it. Like, that was my joint. I licensed it. I bought a license. Like, you don't want that headache, man. And neither does the licensing companies. So to keep things clean, to keep it easy, keep your beat store stuff separate from the licensing stuff. Now, I had stuff on my beat store that I took off of the beat store and then created full songs for licensing, but I was able to do that because those particular beats were never leased non-exclusively or exclusively from anybody. So nobody has another song with that beat around. So it's not going to be an issue, but yeah, I just keep them separate. Fat Pocket Jazz, not to sound stupid, what is the sting at the end of a song? Well, I'm glad you asked, Fat Pocket Jazz. That rhymes. I got bars. Yo, I'm gonna play an example for you. Let me stop this. Let me see. How can I do this? I'm gonna play an example for you. Give me a second. So yeah, that's a sting ending. Horace, what's good? What's up, Clint? Just made contact with a major music soup who need music ASAP. I said ASAP. ASAP, but could not review my music links unless through a major publisher. How do I approach my music library with this situation? So you made contact with a music soup who needs music ASAP, but could not review your music links unless through a major publisher, like Sony, like BMG, like major publisher like that. That's different. Honestly, usually it's like the exact opposite. Like if you need music ASAP, going through a major publisher is the last thing they want to do because they take forever to get back with you, and they want to charge you a boatload of licensing fee because they're a major and they're like they don't want to negotiate. I don't know. Like if the tracks are with your music library, I would talk to your music library and tell them about the situation. But that's weird though. Like I don't understand why they won't review your music unless it's through a major publisher. Like I don't know any licensing super like any music supervisor who like even want to deal with anybody who has like a major publisher, like any major publisher involved on a record for sync for TV and film, for the sake of getting that joint cleared at a decent price and quickly. I don't know any that wants to have that situation. That's weird. Yeah, man, Ecamm is where it's at. Ecamm fam. That's dope. 330 instrumental with spoken word. Nice. Yeah, man. That's dope stuff. Capers is prepping for Friday. That's what's up. Friday we got the live music reviews. Um it's gonna be crazy, man. Like if y'all not or if you guys are not on my email list, to get the instructions on how to submit for that, you definitely want to get on that email list. In order to do that, just download the free step guide, the free 6-step guide. That'll get you on my email list. Tomorrow, I'll send you the instructions on how to submit for the live music review Friday, and then Friday we're gonna go in order of submission, and just go through and just see if the music is ready for TV and film. The past couple weeks, people have been coming with the heat. They've been coming with some fire. So, yeah, I'm excited, man. It's gonna be fun. We gonna see what's up. All right, let's see. What other questions do we have? Howard from Memphis. Welcome, Howard. Spence. Congrats. Yeah. Okay, the good. See, man, Ecamm is late because they stopped. So now I'm just now getting through all the comments with everybody saying congrats to Tiny. It's all good though. So Tiny said he had he or she. I don't know. Are you a she? He? I don't know because it's just Tiny. It could be anybody. I don't know. Anyways, thank you guys. I had to submit stems in the beginning, so I'm sure it depends, but good to pass on. Indeed. That's usually how it goes. We create music. What's good? Says hello everyone. What's good, bro? Majestic drops tomorrow at 7 p.m. Yo, that's dope. We create music TV he just did a review on one of my latest sound packs, Majestic, with the chords and progressions and things like that. So make sure you guys subscribe to his channel so you can see the review on that. See if they're good or not. I don't know. We gonna see what he thinks. Immaculate Beats. Do you think it's just best to keep creating new content instead of shopping non-exclusive beats to other non-exclusive libraries? What's your take on that? Amazing question. Yes, I think it's best to keep creating new content. Honestly, I haven't. There's like a maybe a few, but a lot of libraries I've been seeing now, like a lot of them are going exclusive, meaning you create 2 tracks, you send these 2 tracks to the library. That library is going to publish those 2 tracks exclusively for you. That's just that's usually pretty standard these days. There are still some non-exclusive libraries out there, but I feel like it's becoming less and less. But yeah, I've seen more success with the exclusive ones in regards to like instrumental music. Now, a lot of times, like for full songs or artists and things like that, I think there are more opportunities non-exclusively, because it's like the artist song and master and things like that. So a lot of those deals are sometimes non-exclusive, where you can put them in different situations and try and maximize exposure that way. But for the most part, for instrumental cues and libraries and things like that, I think just constantly create new stuff. You can't go wrong. Dean Reynolds says, "Do you have loopback?" No, I don't, man. It sounds like something that I need is to get the audio from Logic Pro to come through the stream so you guys hear it how I hear it. I have system audio will come through. So if I play from a website or something like that, or my computer, that's gonna come through clean. I haven't experimented with getting Logic Pro to come through clean with the audio settings in there. So that's something I'll have to play around with, and then maybe I'll hop on and like produce a beat live on YouTube or something. That would be dope. Let me know if you guys want to see something like that. Oh, We Create Music says, nope, you just need to create an aggregate device. Okay. I'm gonna have to hit you up about that. I think I've done it before a long time ago, but and then in Logic selected Azure Audio Interface. Okay, so then that allows me to hear it on my end and you guys to hear it on your end as well. Is that what the aggregate device allows us to do? Fire. Dope. Yeah, we're gonna make that happen. Do you have music examples that was placed for sports? Yeah, man, I got a bunch of like CBS sports stuff. What's the shoot, let me see. I gotta find me off again. I start opening up apps. I'm sure I got something in here. I'm pretty sure this one got placed. Yeah. I've heard this one a few times on like CBS Sports, March Madness, all of that stuff. Now here comes the thing ending. This one. Yep. And the crazy thing about this one, this it was used on with sports, but then it also crossed over and was used on one of the award shows. It was either the People's Choice Awards or NAACP Image Awards. But yeah, so like the brief that I created this off of was for a sports brief, but like I said, like award show. So that's the power of music licensing. You sit down, create for one reason, and it can end up somewhere totally different than what you originally created it for. So yeah, super dope. What's up, Money Up Records? Chilling, listening to music, talking about music, all of that dope stuff. Appreciate that, Immaculate. Yeah, we definitely need you to create that tutorial. That'll be a dope video. Now that Ecamm is working properly and allowing us to record what we need to record. That'll be super dope. Jola says, so you mix and master these yourself? Yes, absolutely. I mix and master everything I do. It just allows me to work faster, allows me to turn around music faster, because everything is in one session, like right here on my computer. So if they need to edit, which happens a lot, if they want me to change the sound, I can swap it out, bounce them out a new version, and send it out immediately versus having to go into my session, change the sound, then send it to the mix and mastering engineer, have them do their thing, send it back to me. Then I got to send it back to the company. By the time all of that happens, man, I've been missed out on the opportunity. So yes, I definitely mix and master myself. And I recommend, if you have the patience to learn and really dig into it, if that's something you want to do, I definitely recommend learning how to mix and master yourself as well. Shout out to this gnat that's like flying around. I don't know. I think it's gnat season. So yeah. Devrick says, is your composing process mostly consist of using loop packs, or do you use a combination of samples and actually creating via keyboards, Vox, horns? I play everything myself. I play keys. Like keys is like my main instrument. So it's easier for me to sit down and create something from scratch, new melodies, chords, progressions, and things like that, and just play it than, for me to manipulate samples and all that stuff. So yeah, I just create straight from the MIDI controller and the drum machine. So yeah. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like I didn't realize how valuable learning how to mix and master your stuff is until I really got into music licensing and got a hold of some of those super last minute deadlines. Yeah, it's a lifesaver. Mr. Watt, what dBm and RMS level do you typically mix to for TV? I'm usually at negative 0.1 dB. That's with everything mastered. I don't even go to 0. I probably could, but I don't know. I just do 0.1. So right before it gets to that 0 part. And I just boost my volume up, make sure it's not sounding distorted or clippy at that level. If it is, then I'll just, I'll take all of my tracks and just turn them down a little bit until, everything sounds clean. So yeah. Yeah. Dope stuff, man. Just yeah, playing it. No doubt. So yeah, so those are a couple beats that have gotten used in sports and stuff. The secret, it's not really a secret, but the thing with sports music is just paying attention to the elements that they use a lot. They use a lot of brass, a lot of strings, drum rolls, different synths and things like that. Like what I do is like once I get something placed for whatever it is, I'll save it as a template, and then like when I got that first sports placement, I was just like, okay, these are the sounds I'm gonna use for sports stuff. And it's gonna be the same brass, it's gonna be the same strings. Like I'm gonna just use the same things. All right, it worked already, so I'm gonna keep doing what works. So definitely, man, like, cause you don't have time, man, to because you don't know what the mix and mastering engineer that you outsource to, you don't know what their schedule's like. They may have some projects that they're like in the middle of. So it's like, I tried it once. I was just like, yo, I need something mixed and mastered for TV. How quick can you get it back? It was like, I have to at least spend like 2 days on it. I'm like, I ain't got 2 days, bro. Like, just do today, like, in 5 hours. You know what I mean? So, I just don't. You don't have that luxury of time a lot of the times. Yeah, create a template. That is like a major hack. You create a template and you don't have to work. You don't have to think about it. You know, Jola, can you do a live stream on your approach to making music for sports? I'm giving it to y'all right now. Or you want to like see like a session in Logic or something? Um, but yeah, like that's how I approach like all sports stuff. I pull up the template, and then that template has my the sound I'm using, like the plugin VST or whatever. So that could be a contact plugin for brass or strings. It'll have the brass, it'll have the strings, it'll have those hits, the orchestral hits. Um, I may have the drum kits could change, but usually unless I find some different sounds that I like, or like occasionally you kind of gotta update stuff. So yeah, and then it has I've already mixed the track already, so it has the same plugins, the compressor, the EQ, uh, reverb, like whatever I used, it's just all there. So it has the plugins, the sounds, um, the mastering track, the levels are there. So literally, like I'm going in, I'm erasing everything, and then I'm just playing something new. I'm playing a new brass melody, a new string melody, a new synth. Just playing everything, and then like it's gonna be pretty much the mix is gonna be done soon as I finish formatting the track, because I already mixed it, and I didn't change the sound. So it's saving me a whole bunch of time just working off of that template that I create. So yeah, that's the secret to cranking out a bunch of music for TV. So it's a workspace with typical plugins that you might use for certain vibe with certain songs and beats. Exactly. Yep. That's for any type of music I've created for a brief, um, and I work off of that, man. You spend so much time filtering through sounds and stuff and plugins, and you don't realize how much time you spend looking for that stuff. Like just to start a beat, you know what I'm saying? And just to start an idea, you're just sifting through sounds for like the first two first 2 hours. Like it can take a while. So why repeat and start that process over each and every time you make a beat, right? So that's how I cut down on that. It is, Devrick. It makes things way more efficient from a production standpoint. Tiny says, I like to route stems into their own buses. So drums to a bus, bass, synths, leads. That's dope. That's a good idea. I do my drums that way. But that's a good idea. That'll help. Like you said, that'll help when it comes to bouncing out stems as well. You can just solo that bus, bounce that joint out, and then boom. That's actually a pretty genius idea. Yeah, I like that. Let's see. Let me see. Let me take a few more questions before we hop off of this joint. Indeed, man. I love it. Like I geek out over like efficiency. Like I want to work efficient all the time. Efficiently, I should say. Yeah, that's a super dope idea. Buses. I see a lot of people grouping instruments to buses. Yeah. I really like it for drums too, cause what in my drum bus I'll throw another like compressor on there um to glue the drums together as well. Yes, Jola, create a template. Create a template. It'll just make life so much more easier. Fat Pocket Jazz says, Clint, do you use Logic exclusively or do you incorporate other hardware like the MPC? I use it's Logic, Machine Complete Control, and that's it. And a mic sometimes. Depending on how I'm feeling, it may get real creative and I may pull the vacuum out and sample the vacuum cleaner. And other random things around the house. So just depends. Are you still doing one-on-one sessions? Absolutely. Still have one-on-one consultations available to sit down, chop it up, answer specific questions. So yeah, those are definitely still available at clintproductions.com/link in bio, and then just go down to book a consultation if that's something you guys want to do. Yeah, you absolutely got to glue those drums, man. It's imperative. What interface are you using? SSL 2 Plus. I did a studio tour video a couple weeks ago. If you want to see everything I'm using, my setup and everything, that video is here on YouTube as well. You can see everything I'm using currently. But yeah, SSL 2 Plus interface. I love it, man. It's simple, gets the job done, and I really like it when it comes to, cutting vocals or adding a bass or guitar. The 4K mode has a really nice warm bite to it I really like. So yeah. Honestly, you may be able to hear the difference if I turn it on now. I don't have it on now, but I'm gonna turn it on now, see if you guys can hear the difference. Okay, so this is the mic with 4K turned on. I don't know if you can really hear a major difference with me just talking, but I know for sure, like when you singing, you can hear a difference, and I can hear a difference like when I plug my bass guitar in there, and then I turn 4K off. This is what it sounds like turned off. So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. And for the prices, it's really not bad at all for a piece of SSL. Tiny says help so they can drop the stems in the session. It sounds just like the full version. Yeah. Yep. It says not a major difference, but your vocal has an increase in volume and clarity. Yeah. Yep. Yep, indeed. Yes, it's a subtle thing. I notice it more with like, singing vocals. And depending on what you're, the monitors and stuff that you're listening on, it'll sound different depending on that frequency. Dope. Are you a Waves plugins user? I have some Wave stuff. Definitely have some Wave stuff. Some Steven Slate. And then recently been getting hip to some plugin alliance stuff. I don't know if y'all heard of it. Like plugin the SSL board, one of the SS. Which one do I have? I think it's E or something like that. But have that, and then they have a Neve plugin, kind of like their version of that, and they sound really good, man. Honestly, they sound better than Waves, SSL plugins. It's a noticeable difference. So yeah, I've been hip to those for a minute. So yeah, combination of Waves, solid state Slate Digital, and the plugin alliance joints, the BX stuff. Alan Thomas says, how do you feel about analog summing? I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't even know what that is. Like, I don't use it. But yeah, like I don't know the details of what it's doing. So yeah, I don't get like super deep into the engineering side of things. I just know how to get things to sound good and then keep it moving from there. But enlighten me though, like what is analog summing? I'm always learning from you guys. Plugin Alliance's BX Solo is my go-to for pulling up the sides, mid-side chaining. Oh, dope. I'm gonna have to check that out. BX Solo. Let me write that down. Thing I've gotten from Plugin Alliance. Summing is simply the process of combining all of sessions tracks and outputting them to a single stereo. So, oh, okay. Well, I get the concept of summing. So you're saying, so you're combining everything, running it through at something analog, for that final, that final touch of analog warmth. Is that the gist of analog summing? I think it's dope. Like if you have a piece of analog gear where you can do that, I'm always a fan of getting that warm analog sound if you can. I don't have any analog gear, to be honest with you. Like everything is just inbox. Again, I kind of take the more minimal approach to mixing and things like that, because again, I got quick deadlines. I don't want to have to go through a whole lot of steps just to get the final product, because if I have to go change one sound in a track to get it placed, now I have to go through that whole process again of just bouncing it, running it through the analog. I just don't personally. I just don't want to have to go through that many steps for the different edits that I do. But now I will say if I'm doing like full records or like for an artist or something like that working on a project, then that's when I'll sit down and really dig in and really pay close attention to what's going on sonically in a mix and in a master and things like that. Especially if you're dealing with multiple songs on an album and you want those songs to sound similar from song to song in mix, like that in its totality is like the mastering process, is getting all of those songs to sound like cohesive mix wise, you know what I mean? EQ wise, volume, level, all of that stuff. But these days I'm not really working on like full albums. Seems to be just a lot of single stuff. But this is dope, man. Dope. Appreciate that, Tiny, giving value, man, to the chat. That's dope. That'd be dope to see. What do you do when you can't think of anything else to add to a track, like writer's block? I'll just stop, or I'll just be like, this joint is done. Sometimes I can tell like when it's done, and when I'm about to like start doing too much, that's when I'll stop. Sometimes there's something missing. Like I finished a track a couple weeks ago. Honestly, I finished the track months ago, and then I came back to it, and I was like, yo, like I need to finish this, because it was formatted. I had everything ready. It was pretty much mixed for the most part as well, but I never finalized it because I felt like it was missing something. So I went back to it, and then finally it came back to me, and I found something to put in there to fill it up. And then I knew it was finished. So that happens sometimes. You just got to walk away from it. I'll walk away from it and just come back to it later. And then I was able to finish it, and I sent it off to a library, which I'm still waiting to hear back from. I need to follow up on that. But yeah, that's usually what I'll do. I don't really get writer's block too often. But I do sometimes. I have times where it's like, yo, like something I don't like what I'm trying to add, so but I know it needs something, so I'll just give it some time. Yep. Mr. Watt says Hybrid Keys is free at the moment. Word from Native Instruments. Look at Native Instruments giving stuff away for free. That's dope, y'all. Y'all should grab that. Like Hybrid Keys is dope, especially if it's free. Appreciate you sharing that, Mr. Watt. If you're doing a 32 channel session, then mix it down to 16 stereo channels, is summing, like SSL makes a summing mixer. Ah, okay. I got you. Have a link. It's in Dropbox. Just paste it. Yeah, see if you can paste it in the chat. Like I don't know if it's gonna work, because I think somebody tried to paste a link in the chat last Friday, and I didn't see it on my end. So try and paste it, and then y'all let me know if you guys see it on your end, and I'll let y'all know if I see it on my end. But yeah, I don't know why that is. I don't know if I have a setting in YouTube that I have to look at to see if it's like blocking links or something. But I'm curious. I would hope they would let you post it. Yeah, I agree. You gotta get that hybrid keys. You can't go wrong. Okay, dope. Christmas vibe. For the people who work in licensing, it's Christmas music season. Honestly, it came early. Like I seen a brief. I'm like, yo, it's not even June yet. Usually I start seeing them like around July. But now it was like, nah, it's May. Like I'm with it though. Like let's go. Happy holidays in May. So if y'all see me like humming Christmas songs and jingles and in the Christmas spirit, that's what's going on over here. I'm making Christmas music sync. I'm gonna give y'all some gems on Christmas music, like creating original Christmas music. Some things that I do. So when I'm creating originals, right? What I like to do, I always have some type of bells usually. Um, for those who follow me on Instagram, you probably seen my story of the bells that I use in Omnisphere. But what I like to do is take like those popular Christmas melodies, especially from like the public domain songs, and I'll use a piece of those melodies like in the song or in the intro or in the hook or something like that. And what it does is it gives people like that familiarity. Wow, I can't say that. It gives people a sense of familiarness to and it puts them in that spirit like, yo, like it sounds like a Christmas song that I know, but it's different. And then I take it and then I do my own thing. So I'll do that. I'll use the sounds. What else is something that I'll do? Yeah, man, just like listen to different elements like that you hear in popular Christmas songs, and then find a creative way to implement them in your own way. And tempos. I go by tempos as well. But yeah, and then sometimes like for the complicated stuff, for the complicated domain stuff, I'll go and search for the MIDI files, search for the MIDI, drag the MIDI in, and then I may tweak it a little bit, but then I'll go in and just add, instead of the original piano sound, I'll make it a synth sound and just replace it with my own sounds, and then add drums and all that stuff. So that's a good way, because I did Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy some years back, and if you guys ever heard Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, it's some very, very classically trained playing going on that joint that I just don't have the skill set to play. So I use some MIDI from that, and yeah, just like replace some of the sounds and just freshen that joint up. So those are some tips and tricks that I do when I'm creating Christmas music. And then just add that extra sauce. Mr. Watt says the cadences. Yeah, exactly. Like stuff like that. It's like stuff that people don't, like a regular person listening, don't really know what it is, but they know like this is familiar. Like this feels like something I know. And it just, yeah, man, it works. So yeah. Did the link post in the chat? Let me know if y'all seen it. The link from Tiny. I'm gonna try and check on. Let me see if I can check on the actual YouTube chat. Cause maybe, I don't know. Maybe Ecamm just don't want to show me. I don't see it. I don't see it on there either. Unless he's still getting the link. You still getting the link, Tiny? Let's see. So it's been about a week since I submitted to this other library. So I'll probably give it another week, and then maybe follow up, maybe a week or two, and then I'll follow up. But instead of just following up, instead of following up and just asking, hey, did you listen? What I'll do is follow up with more music. So I follow up with like 2-3 more tracks. Like, hey, here's a few more tracks. Instead of and that's a good way to nudge a music library or a supervisor where you sent music, you haven't heard anything yet. That's a really good way to remind them with value, really, because they're gonna open up and listen to the new music as well, and they're like, oh shoot, I forgot, I never got back with them about the first batch. So yeah. Oh, okay, you emailed it. Okay, got you. Let me see. Got it. All right, bet. Let me see if I can copy this joint. All right. Boom. Hopefully y'all can see that. Hopefully it links. So that's the link for the Logic Pro 10 routing template from Tiny, man. Thank you, Tiny, for sharing that as well. Super dope. Yep. Okay, that should work in the YouTube chat, so you guys can access it. But yeah, that's what it's all about, man. Just providing value to the community, helping each other out, helping each other grow. Congrats, Tiny, again on those 5 tracks being signed to the library. Keep it up. Wishing you nothing but the best. All of you guys, keep it up, man. Wishing you guys the best. This was dope. This was a dope talk, a dope live, as always. It's never not been dope, right? But I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna get back to work. Go throw my Santa hat on and start knocking out these Christmas tracks. Might even put the Christmas tree up. Who knows? But y'all have a good week. Again, if you need to get on my email list, if you want to submit your beat or your song to be reviewed and see if it's ready for TV and film this Friday, just download the free 6-step guide to getting TV placements. That'll get you on my email list. And then first thing in the morning, I'm going to email you the instructions on exactly how to submit. And yeah, we're just going to have a good time, man. It's always fun. It's always great to hear dope music from everybody. And if you have full songs with profanity, make sure you have a clean version, because at the end of the day, you're not gonna get the placement because you don't have a clean version. So make sure you have the clean version. Make sure you submit the clean version. Submit to me like you're gonna submit to the music supervisor, the TV network, the music editor, whoever. Submit to me just like you would submit to them, a clean version, so that we can hear what this song is going to sound like in the context of being used in TV, film, commercials, whatever. So it's going to be dope. Shout out to Creative, man. That's the bro. Shout out to Recreate Music TV. Indeed. So yeah, man, we are out. You guys have a good one, and I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Peace.